Hello and welcome back to Belmont Bunch. This week we only have two games to talk about. It's the beginning of the playoffs. The Islanders are playing the Pittsburgh Penguins. So let's get right into it.
Two games that both games could have gone either way. The first one, a little excited to see an offensive outburst. That's why my hot player of the week is Palmieri. He was a little bit invisible in the second game, but a lot you could say that of most of the lineup in the second game. Palmieri is at his best when he's kind of playing like a third liner, where he's being physical. He was able to toss off John Marino on the game winner, and early on he created a 2-on-1 just from like reversing a check. So he has to keep playing like that. I think an honorary mention for not would probably be. I thought I had. I'll just go to not, which is Matt Barzal. It's a little bit circumstance because that line is not really an offensive line. Even when it's playing well, the best that it's doing is just kind of keeping the puck in the other team's end just to keep our skaters fresh and our defensemen fresh. But the past two games have been pretty rough from the first line, and it's probably fair to say Leo might have been the best player on that line the last couple games, which can't really happen. And Eberle has to get going for sure, because as well as decent as Leo is playing, if Eberle doesn't get going, that line is just toast. And like kind of an honorary mention to somewhere in the middle of hot and not is Varley, even only playing one game. He was hot and not in the same game where he gave up one of the worst goals I've ever seen him give up. But then he played excellent and made 43 saves. So it's tough because the final score says that one of the terrible goals he gave up was like, a deciding point of the game. But they also probably lose 5-1 if he doesn't play as well as he does the rest of the way. So, I think instead of directing the hate towards Varley, it should be towards kind of an ineffective night for the forwards. Even though the effort was there, it wasn't as bad as the games we saw near the end of the year where we questioned effort to an extent.
Yeah, and there was also like a few chances like Bo had, and like a few, and there was like I think it was Bo had the like 2-on-3 with Brock, I think it was, and they didn't convert on that. That was like the one that just comes to mind, and like a few others where it was like, is it really Varley? Would you like that one goal that Varley let in? It's like the forwards didn't then kind of do their job to like convert on chances they had, But I was going to say definitely Palmieri as a hot player. My not player for both games is Wahlstrom for those 3 penalties. Admittedly, I don't know. They all looked soft to me, but I don't know. I only watched it just live on TV. He had the tripping penalty, the roughing penalty, and I forgot what the second one was. That was the first and the third. It was like was it interference or something, or I don't remember.
Might have been a trip.
Again, it was 2 trips.
Actually, it's probably 2 roughs based on kind of how the way the game went.
And I just thought that was kind of frustrating. And I don't know, like I kind of don't blame him too much. Oh, it was because he was pushing one of the Pittsburgh players away for the second penalty, and it kind of got up in his face area and stuff. And I thought that was like definitely a soft call. But the hot player, or maybe an honorable mention to hot instead of Palmieri, I would say Bailey. He scored that amazing goal in the second game. I mean, like, I wouldn't have guessed that was Josh Bailey could do it. He did, and it was amazing. And we need more Josh Bailey goals. Second line might save us, might not. All right, so then, Tom, so what do you think will happen in, we'll just the rest of the series? We got one, all right? We got one game. How do you see the rest of the series from a 50,000-foot view or whatever playing out?
By the book. If you're the away team for the first 2, you just want to get one. So it's tough when you win the first, because then you get greedy and you want that second one to kind of make it so that I think NBC was saying like you have an 80% chance of winning the series if you win the first two. And I don't even think that was just on the road. Like if you win the first two on the road, you are going to win the series almost definitely. And I say almost because I think Barry Trotz's Capitals, the year they won the Cup, I think they went down 0-2 to Columbus and they won 4 straight. So it's not impossible. But now it's moot since the Penguins get game 2. So now the Penguins, the roles are flipped. Home ice is now the Islanders because if they hold serve, if they win their 2 home games, they're up 3-1. And, then the Islanders have the ball in their court. So it's way easier said than done. Obviously, just holding serve against a team that you struggled against in the regular season. And like the Islanders could be down 0-2 or they could be up 2-0. That's how tight it's been. So it's really hard to project forward, but a lot of it probably depends on goaltending. And it's mostly the Pittsburgh goaltending because we kind of know what we're going to get from the Islanders. Outside of that obvious bad one from Varley, those are extremely rare. And now Sorokin has established himself as well in the playoffs. So really it comes down to Jari, I think. And if Jari plays better in game 1, Pittsburgh's probably up 2-0. Pittsburgh played well enough to win the first game. So it's probably going to come down to Jari specifically. And if the Islanders keep shooting high to the glove side, because I forgot to mention in the recap, but that Josh Bailey goal was high to the glove side. So every goal has been pretty much high glove side, outside of the one screen from Brock's goal. So that's the test for the Islanders is to get yourself in the position to get those those shots off that are high percentage for them. And the goal for the Penguins at this point is to basically not allow the best shooters like Pajot and Nelson to get any clear time to load up the shot. You have to force everything to be, quick shots that aren't aimed well.
That's why Bailey got the shot off because nobody was expecting it. But the thing with Jari was they asked him during like the intermission report. They said what do you say about this high glove side thing? He was like, yeah, we just got to keep on getting pucks in deep and on net, and like he just totally ignored it. And which I don't blame him for at all.
I'm sure it's awkward on national TV for them to just
call out your weakness,
point out your flaws. That's like if somebody on national TV said you should cut your eyebrows, and I just would probably say, well, we just got to get pucks deep, and they wouldn't know what I was talking about. But
yeah, right. You're on like morning television, and they're like, you should cut your eyebrows. I just got to get pucks on net, and it looks like Varley's going to start game 3. That's what I heard. I don't remember where now, but I was a little surprised. I thought for sure Sorokin, they would just split the games until,
Yeah, I think there was a lot of second guessing when Varley was picked to go game 2 after how well Sorokin played. But I'm like kind of tuning out from that discourse because for the most part, outside of the one goal again, basically I'm sure some fans would disagree, but I don't think there's much of a drop off on either goalie. So I think I honestly think the goaltending for the Islanders is like, don't even worry about it. Worry about the skaters. Cause we're getting to the point that, the Islanders could lose game 3, 1-0. And, if it's a bad goal, we're going to focus on that, which, in a game where there's only one goal, of course you're going to focus on the goal. But I think more scrutiny needs to be put on the Islanders forwards for screwing up repeatedly or not creating a ton of chances rather than the one mistake by the goalie who otherwise has been immaculate.
Yeah, I could not agree more. So, anything else, Tom? Anything else we wanted to add? Short episode this week?
No, just I think, I picked Pittsburgh in 7. And it does look, to me, it looks like a series that is destined 4-7 at this point. And, it's for the Islanders, it's a matter of how much do you want it. In 2019, when they swept the Penguins, they outwilled the Penguins. And I think we knew this year that it wasn't going to be the case because this Penguins team seems to be more resilient. So, it's for the Islanders to get out of that 2-game set with a split is good. One, because, it doesn't hurt you. And two, at this point now, you should know what's coming. You just got the Penguins maybe at their most desperate. So maybe you've seen a lot of the Penguins and you can dissect that now.
Yeah, that's interesting. But all right. So thank you everybody for watching. We're probably not going to have another podcast until after the series. Maybe not. We will keep you updated on if that happens. Because the schedule is obviously all over the place. They're now playing on Wednesdays every now and then, right? Because it's just kind of every other day for the playoff game. So if we make it out of this playoff the first round, playing whoever we play next, that would be awesome. And, more stuff about the Islanders and their playoff run to come. But if this is it for the Islanders, then, that would be really sad. Mostly because there will be no more Islander content from Belmont. But no. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a beautiful day.